billion years ago, 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 billion years ago.
This is the Voice of America, Washington, D.C., signing on.
Welcome to the KY Patriot Talk Show, where we talk about political correctness, government, politics, race theory, and all the other BS that falls into those categories. So if that's something that you would like to hear, or if that's something that will piss you off, then we have one saying here: buckle up, buttercup, cause we ain't shutting up. And leading the way, leading the charge, is our boy, our host, B.
Thank you. Yes, this is the newest, or the newer show that we are producing now, being KY Patriot Talk Show. So, I hope that you are able to go out and look the show up. Tell us not only what you think, but hopefully join us on this crazy adventure. It's definitely going to be interesting. But before I get too far into all of this, I'm going to make sure to write into the chat room to everybody. What's up, everyone? Just chilling and seeing what everyone is up to today. Alright, so yes, again, this is B, and you might be familiar with one or two of our other podcasts out there. We have now a total of 4, but one of them is the Big BZB show. Then we have on Podbean, we have 2, a premiere and a Patreon. One being the BZB show, the other being the Be Real Talk Show. And, of course, the Big BZB is out here on Spreaker, where we are now producing the KY Patriot Talk Show. So this is the second ever podcast that I've done that has had any kind of government / political backing of any sorts. So I just wish us luck that we don't get completely wiped off here. So, how did we get to this? How did we get to this exact spot to where we are doing politics? Because if you look across our other programs, almost all of them are nothing but music. Basically, that's all they are. So that's a pretty far leap. Definitely one to the other. And it wasn't a easy task to take, but it definitely was one of need. And give me just a few seconds. I'm going to mute this. I have to do something, and I'll be right back, and I will be right back to the store. Alright, I'm back. I hope that I didn't run too many of you off of here, but if I did, my bad. And if I didn't, good. Anyways, so back to how did we get to this? Well, it goes a little like this right here, and that is we were actually a patriotic political show when I very first started. Believe it or not, we did not do anything but that. But see, things happen, right? Things happen, and you kind of just lose your spot. We kind of just faded away from it, I guess, really. I don't know if it was a fade away or if it was more of just, I don't know. I really don't. What I do know is we got to a standstill in our first podcast. just couldn't find the next direction to go in. It was just so hard to come up with more ideas, more things to try. It just was too much. So, what I tried to do was revamp it. So, I invested into a interface, a microphone, and a new DAW. Well, that went over just about as well as being a patriot in Congress right now. It didn't go over very well at all. We slowly, and I mean slowly, got kind of back into everything as of now we have, but it hasn't been easy. It's definitely been interesting. We are trying to currently do more for our brand. So, the first podcast ever had out was Father Patriot, 21st Century America. Like I said, we got at a brick wall. It started becoming kind of a same thing over and over again. I was getting burnt out, so I tried to do something to change it. I bought the DAW. I erased my old DAW without knowing this new one. And needless to say, we never went back to the Father and Patriot. We went a month without putting anything out. And my next adventure, well, it started from that point on. That was where the branding, or the brand name, or the BZB Productionz came into effect. So I decided to not only document my journey into the music industry, but also follow us and keep it all the way through, if not make it a brand itself for the whole thing. That's kind of where we are with our other shows. With the big BZB, with the BZB show, the Be Real Talk show, pretty much the Be Real Talk show and the BZB show are just paid content that is more on a personal level of what the big BZB show is. We still bring over everything from the main show, the free one, but we add in the behind the scenes, the day-to-day life, things like that is the content that you get whenever you become a